Here we have it. Here we have it, man. Arsenal against Chelsea, the Carabao Cup or whatever how you want to call it. This is for the right to who will play Man City in February's final. And the narrative continues. Conte's Chelsea, not Mourinho's Chelsea, not Ancelotti's Chelsea. Conte's Chelsea find it difficult to play against Arsenal. And even if I'll get to that later on. Even if they've lost Ches, aka Alexis Sanchez, I still feel the way Arsenal play, their setup just causes Conte's boys some issues. They don't know how to deal with Arsenal's runners. They don't really know how to get their game effectively to actually exploit the space against Arsenal. And it just seems as if Conte's dogmatic approach that rarely changes because he refuses to really change his tactical or his approach just never really gets any cheddar against Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal just seems to have a very good record against Chelsea. Not to know that they play very well against them and get a lot of opportunities. Can Mkhitaryan play in this game? Because I doubt it because I'm pretty sure, I'm actually 102% sure that he's played at least one game in the Carabao Cup for Man United because he's never really been in the main squad. Arsenal, for me, are the advantage and Arsenal are the favourites in this game. 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. It's at the Emirates. Arsenal know that they know how to play against them. The result against Crystal Palace was a huge boost. And really, all Arsenal have to worry about is Hazard. That's it. If they can keep Hazard quiet, they can stop him from being influential. Xhaka can really try and trap him. They can get tight to him. They force him to go out into the wing, and they restrict the amounts of space he's given. They don't really give him any space. They don't really give Chelsea any opportunities to really counter. They know when to move forward, when to play the highline. They know when to go back down the highline, so they're not really exposed and are in a position where they're on a 3-on-3 or a 3-on-2. Then I think that's a great foundation for Arsenal to start saying, okay, now let's now start building towards the attack. Let's not get our runners in there. Let's not look at those overlaps. For Chelsea's point of view, Conte, you've got to do something different. You can't, because it's madness is doing the same thing multiple times, hoping for a different result. That is the definition of madness, and that is what Conte has been doing. As in, for Conte, time and time again, you've FA Cup final, the game previous, I think the 2-2 game as well, you find it difficult playing against this Arsenal team. So for Chelsea, I just think for them, they have to copy like the Mourinho approach almost, as in they have to, the way they set up defensively has got to be a lot more rigid. They have to force Arsenal to play in front of them, and they cannot allow any spaces behind them. So really, people like Kante or Bakayoko, they have to pretty much make sure that Arsenal don't actually get in behind them. And as far as moving forward, it's about freeing Hazard up. Willian has to be in there. This is a game that you have to consider playing a Batshuayi. Just consider playing a Batshuayi because you know that with Arsenal, you're going to be given space based on how people like Koscielny and therefore and how they defend. These are defenders that like to run a lot and like to move a lot. So I think the movement of Batshuayi, he puts in some nice good crosses in there. Batshuayi could just get onto a loose ball and put the ball in because he's got very good. I think he's sharper. His movement is a lot sharper than our dear friend Alvaro. So that's So look, man. I think that this is going to be similar to the first leg, as in how close the first leg will be. But something just tells me that Arsenal are at an advantage here. That they're at an advantage here. I just think that again, Wilshere will be super important. I already said Wilshere is England's best football player. Deal with it. That's just a fact. If Wilshere can really lead the line, so whenever Arsenal they attack through him, he really defines how they move forward with the ball, and he's the guy that really distributes the ball and gets the ball rolling whenever Arsenal move forward. I think Arsenal can cause Chelsea a lot of issues, especially if Conte doesn't really change his approach, doesn't really copy the way that Mourinho likes to play with his Chelsea and how he defended with them. I think Arsenal are going to get free through Lacazette and so forth. And I think this is a game that Lacazette should start in based on how he scored in that last game I think maybe his confidence will be back. And like I said, he's a guy who will 100% cause Chelsea issues because of how he moves around. But again, for Chelsea, if Hazard is on it, he gets the support from Willian, Pedro, and so forth. Moses and Marcos Alonso are actually a bit more dynamic and make much more interesting runs into the box. Who knows? Who knows what can happen? Because I think if that happens, then I think then Chelsea can then cause Arsenal some serious issues. But Chelsea are going to be a bit more professional, a bit more mean, more mature. Because I think Arsenal finally had to play with a lot more mature football. I'm thinking of two scenarios here. One scenario, Arsenal win this 2-1. Because for me, I think Arsenal, in both scenarios, for me, Arsenal win this game. So either Arsenal win this 2-1, perhaps in extra time, or even 90, maybe extra time, or Arsenal win this on penalties. Based on what they did in the last game, I'm looking at the Emirates. I don't think the Emirates is a 0-0 kind of ground. I'm going to go with 2-1 Arsenal. So Arsenal to win 2-1. But for Conte, man, change it up, change it up, change it up, man. Especially if you can see it's not working. Change it up, bro.